what are some states that we as the advocate for the Yazidi people and also from the government that need to be taken in order to bring the justice for the Yazidis?
What should be done? Yeah, that's a good question. Like I said, I think they should have went to Iraq more and interview a lot of people over there to see how they can prosecute all the foreign ISIS members. And I think they should still work on a tribunal, for example, in Iraq or in the Kurdish region of Iraq or in Europe. It really doesn't matter. I think it shouldn't be this way, that people are getting away with all the crimes they committed. It's not enough to just prosecute them for a membership of a terrorist organization. They should be tried for the crimes they committed against the Yazidis. And one thing I've learned from speaking to a lot of people and writing my book is that a lot of the women I spoke with, they are prepared, they are willing to testify in courts, because it's also part of healing. You cannot heal from trauma if the people who did this to you are not being punished for it. So the first step is, I think, investigating a lot and building cases. And there are a lot of Yazidi organizations who are working on certain cases as well. Governments should work with them. For example, with Yazda, the Free Yazidi Foundation, and there are a lot of those organizations who are working on those cases. Another thing, this doesn't have to do a lot with prosecution, but it does somehow, because in Belgium, the genocide was recognized recently, and the Netherlands, my country, soon followed. And I think with recognizing the genocide, there comes a responsibility with it. For example, you take in the victims of genocide. And until this day, my country, nor did Belgium, they didn't bring any genocide survivors to the Netherlands. And for example, Germany did that for years already. Every time they take like 1,000 women and children to give them trauma treatment and asylum. This is a good thing. This is also something that should be done.
But the question is that Germany has not confirmed the Yazidi genocide yet. So in your opinion, why the Germany has not taken that step, or initiating that step in Europe?
This when you sent this to me, it was actually the first time that I heard of it, because I thought they had recognized it, but I really don't have any idea why they didn't do it, honestly, because more and more countries in Europe follow, and Germany is the country that has basically 200,000 Yazidis. So it's a big question for me why they wouldn't do it. Maybe they think it comes with a responsibility, but at the same time, they already took a responsibility by taking in a lot of women and children. So I have honestly no clue why they didn't do it.
Brenda, you have covered a lot, but I would like to ask a question also about, I know you talked about your book. So your book was mainly about a Yazidi genocide survivor. Can you give a overview about your book and how it could be purchased, if our listeners want to get it?
I went back in 2017. I have to start here because this is where it all started. So I went back in 2017 for two big stories for a newspaper and magazine in my country. And I went to cover two stories about women and about children in the training camps. And I came back with 10 stories. And then I read the definition of genocide from the UN. And I noticed that it was all the things that were in this definition, it happened to the Yazidis. So then I was thinking I should write a book about how it was genocide in different chapters, explaining, and in every chapter a different person is the central figure who tells the story. So the first three chapters are, for example, about women, and then you have about the children. I talk about the children and about the men and stuff. So basically the whole genocide is covered in this book, but also about Yazidi customs and their religion, traditions, all those things. So yeah, this is in short how my book is was published, and I called it The Forgotten People. And it was also because in 2017, when I went back to do the two long stories, a lot of people told me like, I have the feeling that the world has forgotten about us. And one day I interviewed Majdal, and he told me a horrible story about how ISIS sent the little boys to the front. So they were like, how do you say that? They were the ones who died first. So to protect the adult ISIS fighters, and it really broke my heart. And I walked outside from his tent, and something happened, like my shoe was stuck in the mud or something. And I was with my translator, and all of a sudden I was crying. I'm like, how can nobody do anything? This is not okay. And I was really emotional after that. And then my translator, he said like, yeah, everybody has forgotten about us. We are the forgotten people. And this was actually how I came up